I'm kind of sick these days, and I have the same energy to talk that I usually possess. And I notice how people feel your weakness, and they kind of dominate you sometimes. Not all of them, but on a subconscious level, they feel that you are utterly vulnerable and that they can get away with some things. And that's a subconscious reaction. You have to be very aware of it. And they don't like you as much as they do usually. And that made me think about the question regarding whether it's better to be feared or liked. And I believe that, it depends. And they are not as inseparable from one another as we are led to believe. Because in order for people to like you, you need to possess some qualities. You are a little bit friendly, but you also are capable of danger, of of overcoming obstacles. And I believe that it's when you have those two qualities, meaning when you are capable to stimulate some fear and respect, and also to be lovable, then that you are able to flourish as a man, as a regular individual who tries to get by with his day-to-day life. And it's better to not go to those extremes. However, if you lean more toward being liked by people, you can manipulate them sometimes, but you have to be aware of why they like you. Is it because you are unable to pose a threat to them, or because you have some mix and you are capable to do both? Because if they consider you a weakling, then it's not in your favor that they like you. It's more of a acceptance thing. However, if they fear you, it might turn against you, especially as a regular individual who doesn't possess enough power. And it's actually difficult to be feared when there is nothing that you can do and you didn't prove yourself. At least that's how society works. They validate excellence, mostly. And if they fear you as a competitor, then that's good. But if you are just putting them in a state of distress because you are unstable. One second. Sorry for that. My TV just started out of a sudden. What I was saying, if you turn them away because you are unstable, meaning crazy, then you are kind of harmless, to be blunt, and people just avoid you. So the feeling of fear that you suscite is a mere illusion. But that's from the perspective of a regular individual. If you are a villain, or let's say a state, or a governor, or a ruler, judging by some Machiavellian philosophy, you would prefer to be feared, although there are exceptions. And when people fear you, they are aware of your wrath, so they don't do things that might compromise them, because they are aware of the consequences. And that plays in your favor. However, if they like you, you can be in their graces, and you kind of are liable to impose your will on them in a subtle way. And that also has its ups and downs. So it depends on the situation, like everything in life. However, if they fear you, and at some point you lose the power and the instrument that made you who you are, then they might rally up against you in a very vehement and conspiratory manner, and that puts you in a very bad position that you might not be able to come back from. Personally, I believe you need to have both abilities, because especially if you can sorry, if you can provoke fear, some might admire you, especially women, provided that you can be caring with the female partners. They don't want you to be cruel towards them. They like to be sure that you will be able to defend them, but they want you to be attentive and tender with them. So you have to understand this sort of dichotomy, and that kind of sums it up. Let me know what you think in the comments.